Hey everybody, and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. So today, a little bit different. We're going to be talking about this new hitch that I just got from Curt. This is called the Crosswing, and this is a fifth wheel hitch, but it's a little different than anything that maybe you've seen before. Right now I'm sitting in the back of my 2019 Ram 2500, and I'll get Steve to pan up and you can look at the new trailer that I just bought. So that's the Grand Design Solitude 310, and when I picked that up, one of the issues that I thought I might have was that with the current typical traditional fifth wheel hitch I had, I would need a sliding fifth wheel hitch. Because this uses the gooseneck ball as its attachment point, this point here is actually 5 inches further back than the pin in the traditional fifth wheel. And that 5 inches was enough that I can clear the cab on my truck at almost 90 degrees with the trailer. So, no sliding hitch for me. Okay, so right now the hitch is installed over the gooseneck ball, but let me pull it off so I can show you how it works. Now right off the bat, let me just say, 60 pounds. That's easy to move, even for an old bugger like me. All right, as compared to the old fifth wheel hitch, which is over 150 pounds. And though everybody always says, oh, you can pull it out when you're not using it, everybody who owns one knows that you end up leaving it in because you take one look at it and go, oh, hell, I'm not moving that thing. And you manage to work around it 12 months of the year. However, this thing, honestly, it pulls out that easy. So this is my attachment point. I've got 2 pins. They pop out. And there you are, and there you go. There's my fifth wheel, pardon me, my gooseneck ball, and I can pull that out as well, just that easy. This is the factory Ram puck system. So truly, if I want my flat floor back, all I do is I pull that out, I put those pucks back in, and away I go. And now I can reassemble the whole thing. I should mention that these 2 plates here are loose. So no need to fix them to the bed. All they're really doing is spreading the load. And once that hitch is on them, they don't move. All I'm going to do now, stick that on top of this bolt, and that's what holds the entire thing in place. So, I mean, it's dead simple, and it's light. And again, 5 inches further back, no need for sliding hitch. So honestly, you tell me why I wouldn't want this. The other point of adjustment on this hitch is actually in the rise. You've got 3 different positions, which will give you, and I'm gonna ballpark it here, at about 5 inches up or down, depending upon what trailer you've got. So once you get this set up to suit your trailer, then of course you're gonna see how much clearance you've got at the side of the truck. But one main bolt, very easy to do. I should also mention that you've got another point of flex right here in this hitch. So you do get a little bit of that back forward action. And then we'll take a look at the actual receiver piece that goes onto the trailer kingpin, and you'll see how the rest of it works. Okay, so this is the other piece that comes with the Crosswing Hitch, is this receiver, which fits over a standard kingpin. It's right in there. Put in the 2 bolts that captures it on either side. And then this is where the main attachment point is going to be to the hitch. Now you can see this is where it's turning. And it even comes with a nice little nylon insert that's going to reduce any kind of friction there. And I don't think I mentioned, but the unit is actually good for 20,000 pounds. Only 15,000 on my trailer, so I'm good to go. Now we'll back it in and I'll show you how that hooks up. So, just the 1 pin. It's that simple. Out it comes. So, we haven't unhooked this yet, but some of you will know that when you're trying to unhook from a traditional fifth wheel, a lot of times you can't get this handle out because it's under pressure. So you end up having a little bit reverse, a little bit forward. That's one of the advantages of this single pin design. So now that we have it, let's back up. Lock it. I need longer arms.
And now, folks, here we are on the road with that fifth wheel hooked up to Dad's Ram 2500. Now, we're going to get to how the truck is actually handling the weight and what all the numbers are. But first, let's just focus in on the hitch. You've now seen how it goes into the truck. You've seen how it operates. And Dad actually just spent an actual weekend in a real RV park, so he just used it. So I guess, Dad, you know, what did you like? What didn't you like? How did it work for you?
Well, as far as the hitch goes, when you're actually underway, there is really no difference between this hitch and my old hitch. So at first I thought because it's sort of a narrow point of contact rather than sitting on the plate, that might have some difference, but not that I've really felt. So underway, like I said, no difference. So then that takes us to the, you know, what are the advantages? Well, the advantage is the weight of the thing, okay? 75 odd pounds, so I can get it in and out by myself. And secondly, hooking up to it is significantly simpler from the point of view that you've got one pin that slides in this way rather than, you know, the clamshell jaws that go around the kingpin on the traditional fifth wheel hitch. And the key reason I say that is because anybody that's owned that sort of a fifth wheel hitch with the clamshell jaws knows that you often have to forward, reverse to get the pressure off the pin, otherwise you can't open those jaws. Not that it's a huge deal, but guaranteed you've never been pull that release the very first time. You usually have to either get back in the truck. It's always helpful if you have a second person. But with this thing, yeah, that pin pulls out easily and it goes back in easily because it's this V-shaped cradle that the lead piece falls into, and it can't be in a wrong position. That's really what I've found.
Yeah, even if, I mean, there is a learning curve. You gotta sort of set them up nicely before you drop into the cradle. If you drop it in too far away, it does sort of bind its way in. But to your point, it still goes in, and that's the thing. It's sort of like you can't do it wrong because eventually those two things will meet up. So I thought it worked pretty well too.
Yeah, you still got to get the height right, of course. But as with the traditional hitch, the only difference being is with the traditional hitch, you could bring it down to a certain point and then back into it and hit the pin. This one, you don't have to do that because it simply drops down into that cradle. So let's talk about the weights a little bit. So what we're driving here is the Ram 2500, so the 3/4 ton with the 6.7 liter Cummins. This is the regular output engine, and this is a Bighorn, so fairly low trim level. And the payload on this truck is the pin weight on this trailer, which is basically 35 foot, is 2,420 pounds. So if you're that kind of guy, you're gonna go, oh my God, it's overweight. I'm of the opinion that once I put it on, I will decide if it's overweight. And frankly, it feels good on here. Good from the point of view that it's fully loaded. I wouldn't want to go more than this as far as pin weight goes, but we've still got compression on that rear axle. It's nowhere near the bump stops. So empty weight on the trailer is 12,500 and it's 15,000 GVWR. So again, I think it's well matched to the truck. Wouldn't go bigger than this, but for this trailer and that weight, this truck is fine.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I'd say that, you know, compared to your last fifth wheel, which was, you know, 4,000 pounds lighter, 3,000 or 4,000 pounds lighter, you feel this trailer a lot more back there. You're definitely, you know, working a little bit to make sure you're always keeping straight. The trailer's not wagging the dog, not pulling the truck, but it's, like you said, well matched is the word. I wouldn't want to go bigger either. But you know what? It doesn't feel sketchy. That's always the biggest thing. It's also not scary at all. You know, this road we're on right now is kind of broken, uneven pavement. I don't find myself having to really compensate all that much for the truck and trailer combo. Yeah, I would agree just from first blush. And this is my first time driving this combination. I've only been driving now for about 10 minutes, but I got no problem with this. I can tow like this all day long. Well, folks, that's it for this video. I think we've shown you everything you need to know about this Curt Crosswing. And you know what? Like Dad said, I think it's definitely a win-win going for this thing. So if you want to know more about the new trailer Dad just bought, make sure you go check out our other channel, TK Power Sports and RVs. I'll put a link to it down in the description box, and you can see a full walk around on this trailer coming up real soon. And then as always, while you're down below, don't forget to leave us a comment. Let me know what you think of the truck, the hitch, and the trailer. As always, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member, and then come back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next. See you guys.
Thanks.